Before I start, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your experiences and feelings too. This story is raw, personal, and it's something I wish I could have avoided, but I hope sharing it helps someone else. It all began with a joke. I remember the exact moment. Sitting on the couch after dinner, her laughing at something silly on TV. I wanted to be playful, lighten the mood. I nudged her, smirked, and said, "You know, sometimes I think I'd be jealous if you ever dated someone else, or even like someone like Jake." I thought she'd laugh, roll her eyes, and call me dramatic, but instead she froze. There was a beat of silence, heavy and unsettling, like the air between us had suddenly thickened. Then she smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Her fingers twirled a strand of hair nervously, and she murmured something like, "Yeah, maybe." Something inside me shifted. My stomach sank, and I felt that strange, creeping heat of doubt. What if it wasn't a joke to her? I laughed it off at first, telling myself I was imagining it. But that night, sleep didn't come easy. Every small detail replayed in my head. Her smile, her eyes, the way her voice had sounded different. The next days were subtle but telling. She started leaving her phone face down, taking calls in another room, or stepping outside for work calls that seemed to last forever. I noticed tiny things. Perfume on her clothes that wasn't mine, a new lunch spot she hadn't mentioned, her laughter in text messages she quickly hid when I walked in. I questioned myself constantly. Was I being paranoid? Was it insecurity? Or was my gut telling me something I didn't want to accept? I began noticing patterns in her schedule, small inconsistencies that made my chest tighten every time she said, "I'm just busy." Then came the accident. I didn't mean to see it. I was clearing the counter, and her phone buzzed, a name I'd never seen pop up before. My eyes caught a message preview. "I can't wait to see you again. Last night was incredible." I felt my heart freeze. My hand shook as I set the phone down, pretending not to notice. But the words burned into me. I tried to talk to her later that night, tested my voice carefully. "Hey, is everything okay? You seem distant." She laughed nervously, glanced at me, and said, "I'm fine. Really, just tired." But I wasn't fine. I couldn't unsee the messages. I couldn't ignore the way my trust was crumbling, piece by piece. Memories that had once brought joy. Her leaning against me in the morning, the way she whispered goodnight, the inside jokes we shared, now carried the sting of betrayal. I questioned every touch, every laugh, every intimate moment. The breaking point came one quiet evening. She was in the kitchen, humming softly, and I finally asked what I had feared for weeks. My voice was low, trembling. Is there someone else?" Her hands froze mid-chop, her eyes flicked into mine like I had just thrown a bomb across the room. She didn't answer immediately. I saw hesitation, panic, guilt, every emotion I had imagined now painted across her face. Finally, she whispered, I didn't mean for it to happen." I felt my chest tighten. My mind spun with anger, heartbreak, disbelief. It didn't mean what exactly? That you liked him? That you? My voice broke as I tried to form the words. "Yes," she admitted, tears forming. "It started as a joke, just one coffee with Jake. And then I don't know, it became something else. I didn't mean to hurt you. I swear I didn't." The room spun. I loved her, I still did, but that love was now tangled in betrayal. I wanted to scream, to shake her, to demand explanations, but there were none that could undo the damage. I realized something painful but necessary. Love alone wasn't enough anymore. Trust had been shattered, and even if I wanted to forgive, I couldn't forget. The next few days were heavy with silence, awkward glances, and attempts at normalcy that only highlighted what we had lost. I couldn't sleep in the same room, couldn't pretend our conversations were genuine. Eventually, I made the choice that broke both of us, but saved me. I told her, calmly but firmly, that I needed space, that I couldn't continue in a relationship where the foundation had been compromised. She cried, pleaded, and tried to explain herself. I listened, because I still loved her, but I couldn't let her words undo the reality I had seen. Walking away was terrifying. Every step felt like leaving a piece of myself behind. But for the first time in weeks, I felt a strange sense of clarity. Painful, yes, but also freeing. I was choosing to protect my heart, to honor myself. The days that followed were quiet. I focused on myself, on remembering who I was before heartbreak took hold. The love I carried for her didn't disappear. It transformed into something more constructive, a reminder of what I deserve, a standard for the future, a lesson learned the hardest way possible. If there's one thing I hope you take from my story, it's this. Even the people you love most can make mistakes that shatter your world. But leaving doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong. Trust your instincts, honor your feelings, and never compromise your self-respect. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe to my channel and share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and your story deserves to be heard.